The most influential people I've known weren't necessarily the loudest people in the room. They were the people who consistently showed up. Let's talk about what consistently showing up means. Consistently showing up means showing your leadership through service, serving others, being there for others, offering to help, offering to volunteer, offering a kind word. Anything you can do that can encourage someone else to go further, to keep going, to meet them where they are, whether it's grief, whether it's happiness, whether it's sadness, whether it's celebration, is so, so important. People, they're going to know, right? Your actions are going to, your consistency shows people that you care about them. You're not looking for the spotlight. You're not looking for recognition. You're looking for being consistent and showing up for others. And honestly, I would be amiss if I didn't mention lessons learned from family. I've learned that family is not always blood. I've learned that family can disappoint you more than others can sometimes. I've learned that the people that really love you will prove that they love you by showing up, something simple. They will be, and here's the thing, there are going to be people that you think that are going to show up for you that don't show up and somebody else shows up in their place. Those are your people, right? Because sometimes the people you expect to be there for you are not. And the people that you would never in a million years think that they're going to be there for you are. And I will say that I have been blessed to have friends for over 30 plus years who still consistently show up for me, who still show me that I'm important, and that they're important to me. I have really great, and I don't think that I would be able to do it without them. I mean, they love my children like they're their family. And they are the family that, they are our family, ultimately. And also too, I've learned a lot of lessons from the room. I've learned that sometimes trauma has a bigger impact on people than we actually realize or we actually want to acknowledge, especially given, somebody who's had trauma from a very young age. I will also say that you can't look at someone and judge whether or not they're guilty or innocent. I also think that you have to be very careful about the media source that you consume, because some media doesn't fully take their responsibility seriously and are dishonest and disingenuous with people who are actually trying to search for the truth. And ultimately, I think you have to understand that trust is built slowly, but trust can be taken very quickly by one wrong decision, one misstep, one dishonest statement, and never be given back, right? And so ultimately, you build trust one decision at a time. I remember being a kid, and I was in elementary school, 5th grade to be exact, and I was the school crossing guard. And I was with this one post where there was a kid who was a year younger than us, so he was in 4th grade. And he would cross, and so he was the only one that crossed from the street. Well, once he crossed, then there was no one else that was going to be at that location. And so I remember it was basketball season, and somebody that was in my class was like, "Hey, that kid's already crossed. Am I able to go play basketball with my friends?" And I was like, "Well, of course," because he's like the only one that's going to cross that. And my elementary school principal came up to me and he said, "Did you know that Ryan is actually not at his post?" And if I'm being honest, and I will be honest with you, I had a moment where I had considered saying, "Oh no, I didn't know he was there. How did he get there?" And I was like, "I'm not tell the truth." And I'm like, "Yes, Principal Martin, I did." And he was like, why did you, he said that you said that he could play basketball with his friends. And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Well, why did you say that?" And I said, "Well, because that kid is the 4th grader is the only one who ever crosses there, and he's already crossed, so then that would be the only one." And he said, "Okay." He's like, "Here's what I'm going to need you to do. I'm going to need you to go back and tell Ryan that he needs to get back on his post and he needs to do what you're telling him to do." It's like, okay. And so I think about that now because the thought is, if I had lied, I would have destroyed my trust or the trust of my principal at that time. And it would never have been regained. Instead, by telling the truth, I showed leadership and I was able to show that I was trustworthy. I was able to garner trust and I became a captain, which, not really a big deal, but it's just kind of funny at the time. So in closing on this part, who is someone that taught you the power of simply showing up? And if I had to answer that question, it would be my grandfather. My grandfather showed up to so many things, not just for me, but for my children, for my spouse. He showed up at dinners to spend time with our family. He showed up at birthday parties. And now that he's gone, I will miss him. I will miss his presence. I will miss him being there with, birthday parties and celebrating the kids and loving on the kids and giving them encouragement and kindness and support. So important. Part 2, character is what remains when the spotlight leaves. Titles matter, accomplishment matters, success matters, but character remains. Who you are when no one is watching, who you are when you can't benefit in some way, is who you are at your core, right? Character versus reputation. Character is who you are on the inside. It is your beliefs. It is your values that you hold dear. It is your integrity. It is your ability to tell the truth. It is your ability to treat people who can do nothing for you like people, like they matter, because they do. Versus reputation is what you're known for. Are you known as an honest person? Are you known as a person who lies to other people? Are you known as a person who disregards rules and bullies people and mistreats people and makes people feel poorly about themselves? That can be part of a reputation as well. And integrity, I learned in 6th grade, is what you do when no one's watching. It's who you are at your core, who you present yourself to be consistently. Everybody has a bad day, I get. Maybe you're in a bad mood at one point. That wouldn't necessarily deal with integrity, but being honest, doing the right thing when no one's looking is all about integrity. And ultimately, communities need principled leadership. People who are going to say the buck stops here. People are going to treat people with respect, whatever their socioeconomic status is, whatever their voting history is, whatever the color of their skin, whatever their religion, any number of things. We need to look at people as people, not whether or not we agree with their decisions, because that's not our choice to make. Our choice is to love people and to show kindness to people and to treat them like they're valuable and that they're worthy of kindness and support. And civic responsibility is extremely important. Civic responsibility is what keeps our country going. We need to understand that voting is a responsibility, but informed voting is a responsibility. And also building your trust through actions by showing people that you do what you say you're going to do. You are who you present to be. So closing question, how do you define character? Feel free to answer below if you like. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And if you got value in this, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and hopefully you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye-bye.